On June 2nd, 2024, 46-year-old Caleb Adams was spending some time with his open water swim group. They were in the ocean off the coast of Del Mar, California, which is about 20 miles north of San Diego. The group consisted of about a dozen people and they typically kept about 100 yards offshore. At some point during the swim, Caleb Adams recalls feeling a strong force slam into the side of his body. The shock and surprise moment masked any pain, but he was aware a shark had bitten him. Caleb recalls thrashing in the water and attempting to fight off the creature. The shark circled away briefly but quickly turned back around, commencing another attack on the already injured man. Caleb put his hands up in defense, trying to position them closely to the shark's mouth and nose. He also recalls punching the animal at least twice, with one of the strikes landing on its body and one on its mouth. Caleb then cried out and recalled saying, "Help, shark." One of his swimming friends, Kevin, heard the screams and started swimming towards them. By the time he reached Caleb, the shark had vanished. Kevin immediately noticed his friend was heavily bleeding out of his chest. Once he was able to get Caleb back to shore, the severity of his injuries became more clear. A nearby lifeguard rushed to the scene and rendered assistance until an ambulance could arrive. Caleb was urged to stay calm and not look down at his torso, as his injuries were extreme. Emergency assistance arrived, and he was transported to Scripps Memorial Hospital in La Jolla. Bites to his torso, left hand, and left arm were observed. Caleb was treated for the attack and received surgery. Fortunately, he survived, but had many scars and stitches from the gruesome encounter. Almost the entire beach in Del Mar was closed due to the attack. After things settled down, various researchers wanted to dig further into the attack. They wanted to know what type of shark it was, its estimated size, and a few other things. Dr. Chris Lowe, who is the head of the shark lab at Cal State Long Beach, said they extracted DNA from the bite marks on Caleb's wetsuit in order to ascertain its species. Results concluded that the culprit was a great white shark. Researchers were glad to get clarification, but weren't too surprised at this finding. Based on the sheer size and type of bite, it was clear what species caused the attack. Dr. Chris Lowe says that the great white shark has one of the most unique bites of any shark species. The injuries sustained under an ambush from one of these creatures typically causes unmistakable damage, the likes of which most other sharks don't produce. An adult great white will typically have around 250 teeth, although only about 50 of these are used when biting prey. Each of them are about 2.5 inches long and have been compared to mini steak knives, with a unique serrated edge. Researchers were also able to determine that the shark was about 9 feet long, indicating it was technically a juvenile. Zach Merson, who works as a field tech at the Shark Lab, says that Del Mar Beach is a nursery habitat and a hotspot for juvenile white sharks. In the past 4 years, over 60 white sharks have been tagged in this specific area. Merson says 4 of these tagged sharks were in the area at the time of Caleb Adams' attack. I'm going to discuss another shark attack that occurred in California, this one being in the northern part of the state. In the town of Ferndale, which is about 250 miles north of San Francisco, a man named Michael Traynor was driving to one of the local beaches. It was October of 2022, and the 33-year-old was looking forward to a day of surfing. While he drove closer to the beach, Michael got an uneasy feeling due to the Sharktober time, which is the span of September to December when sharks are most present near the coastline. He arrived at the remote stretch of beach and got ready to head out on his surfboard. As he got in the water and paddled further away from shore, he couldn't help but notice how ominous his surroundings felt. Although Michael had surfed this beach many times, he remembers that something felt off. As the 33-year-old paddled further from shore, he noticed a group of seals nearby. Although these creatures were a common sight in the water and around the beach, their presence made him think even more about sharks. After hitting a wave, Michael was briefly submerged when he noticed a large black silhouette. As he got back onto his board and started paddling, something came from underneath him and clenched onto his right leg and surfboard. At first, Michael thought it was an overly aggressive sea lion, but he was certainly mistaken. In a state of surprise and shock, the 33-year-old didn't really understand what was happening and only felt a slight sensation on his knee. Michael instinctively kicked downwards. He then describes feeling a crunching sensation and observing the black silhouette attached to him. After a couple more kicks, the creature, which was later identified as a great white shark, released its grip and swam away. Michael used his damaged surfboard to paddle towards shore and was still unaware of his injuries. He thought some sea creature had grabbed him, but was about to find out the grisly truth. Once at shore, Michael looked down at his legs and was absolutely shocked and horrified. He recalled being surprised that he could even walk, with his legs shredded up and bleeding profusely. A beachgoer who saw the attack unfold started running in Michael's direction. The person on scene used their dog's leash in order to tie a tourniquet around the badly injured limb. Once in an ambulance, Michael asked one of the EMTs if he had been attacked by a sea lion. The medic made reference to the surfboard with a giant mark in it, indicating it was certainly a shark attack. Michael immediately became overwhelmed with emotion, as this was a longtime fear of his whenever he went surfing. It was later revealed that a 16-foot great white shark was the culprit in the attack. His injuries included multiple deep lacerations on his thigh, an MCL tear on his knee, and a bit of bone penetration. After surgery, Michael began the road to recovery by attending physical therapy. After some time spent healing, he decided to brave the waters again and continue surfing. He even surfs the same beach he was attacked at to this very day. For the last part of this video, I'm going to discuss another shark attack in California. On December 24, 2021, Thomas Butterfield was bodyboarding at a beach about 2 hours north of Santa Barbara. He was visiting his mother's home and was spending time with her and his brother. To be specific, he was at Morro Bay, which lies within San Luis Obispo County. At about 10 a.m., he arrived at the beach to catch some waves with his surfboard. Thomas was in the water and was attacked by a shark, yet not a single person saw the actual attack. About 45 minutes after Thomas arrived at the beach, a nearby surfer saw him face down in the water and swam out to rescue him. The 42-year-old, who was originally from Sacramento, was pronounced dead on scene. The local sheriff's department declared that he died from complications of multiple penetrating blunt force traumatic injuries. Officials also pinpointed 3 main bite zones, one to the head, one to the chest, and the final one being on the right shoulder. The deep lacerations indicated a bite radius of more than 16 inches, but there were also more teeth marks than expected from this attack. As a result, experts believed that the shark must have circled back more than once or was having a hard time holding onto the man's body. Although officials haven't mentioned the estimated size or age of the shark in question, they were able to conclude that the attack was from a great white. California is no stranger to shark attacks, as it has one of the highest incident rates of any state in the USA. Great white sharks particularly enjoy the west coast, as they prefer the cooler waters. These creatures also hunt for seals, which are very prevalent all up and down California's coast. Surfers are said to be more likely to be attacked due to their black wetsuits making them look similar to seals. Over the past 10 years, this West Coast state has over 30 reports involving shark attacks on humans. However, when compared to states like Florida that report over 250 shark attacks in the same time span, it seems like nothing. Great white sharks boast several impressive physical attributes. They can reach lengths of up to 20 feet and weigh over 5,000 pounds. Their powerful, streamlined bodies allow them to swim at speeds of up to 25 miles per hour, aided by a strong, crescent-shaped tail. The great white's mouth is lined with rows of serrated razor-sharp teeth, designed to tear through flesh efficiently. It possesses acute senses, including a keen sense of smell, able to detect blood from miles away. Additionally, it has electroreceptors called ampullae of Lorenzini, allowing it to sense the electric fields generated by prey. Its robust, muscular jaws deliver a bite force exceeding 4,000 pounds per square inch, making it one of the most formidable predators in the ocean. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more wildlife content. Have a great day.